All right, the next thing we're going to add to our game are pickups. So I'm going to go ahead in the interface. I'm going to add a entity which is going to hold all of our pickups. I'll call this pickups. And inside of it, I'm going to just start creating a primitive called a box that's going to represent a pickup. And the pickup is just a box. You can see it right about there. And I don't like that it's on top of where the player is, so I'm going to move it out of the way so it's not on top of anything. I'm also going to move it so that it's not into the plane. So I want to move it, let's see if I zoom in a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to move it up a little bit, so probably about a half. Another thing I want to do is I want to give it a rotation. So I'm going to give it a 45-degree rotation in the X, Y, and Z. Get a nice little rotation to it. And maybe I'll shrink it a little bit. So I'll make the scale a half. Yeah, so you can play with that, make it smaller or bigger. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give my pickup a material. So let me make myself a new material. We'll call this pickup material. And I'll set the diffuse color to be kind of yellow. It seems like a good idea. All right, click on my pickup. And I'll change the material from being empty to being my pickup material. All right, so that's what it looks like. And you can play with it. If you don't like what it looks like, it doesn't have to look like this. Okay, so next thing we want to do is add a script to our pickup to give it maybe a rotation effect so it looks kind of cool. So I'm going to add a component to it, and I'm going to add a script, and I'll add a script, great script, and we're going to call this the rotator file. I guess I could have called it rotator controller, but I didn't. Oh no, I put in my materials folder. I don't want that, so we move it to my scripts folder. Okay, so I'm going to open up the rotator.js file, and we're going to look at how we could make our object rotate. Okay, so it's not too much really. In the update function, we're going to run the following command: this.entity.rotate, and we're going to rotate it by a new vector 3. And I'm just going to put in some angles that I'm making up, 15, 30, and 45. And I'm going to scale that vector by dt. What dt is sort of the amount of time that's passed between frames, so it's a very small amount. So this is the amount of angle I'm going to rotate in 1 second, but this one command will rotate a lot less than that because I'm scaling it based on the amount of time. All right, so I'm going to save this, go back to Rollerball, and I'm going to run it, and we'll see if my pickup is rotating, and there it is. What a cool looking effect. You just want to go pick it up, don't you? Unfortunately, we can't yet. That's something we'll do in the next video. Before we go to the next video, I'm going to go through the process of duplicating a bunch of these. So it's a little annoying. You can copy one, and then when you paste it, you have to keep reselecting the folder. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oops, missed, 7, 8. Okay, put that in there somewhere. So I've got 8 of them. That seems like a good number. And I'm just going to push these like somewhere around the screen. So there's 2, 3. You could do this symmetrically, or you can just like put them wherever. There's 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So they're not equally spaced, but that's okay. So let's run it again and just see all of them rotating and how cool it looks. Very nice. All right, so in the next video, we're going to look at how we can add the ability to pick these power-ups up, or these pickups up.